Hello, everybody. Yeah, it's me again, Jordan. I'm trying to do this daily diary thing again, so please forgive me. I'm not super consistent, but life changes, life happens, lots of things have happened. I recently lost my father on April 18th of 2024, but it, unlike what it's like for many other people losing their father, I didn't I'm not extremely downtrodden and stuff like that. I mean, I do miss him, but I did have this opportunity to start a podcast with him. We actually did it together. And no, the podcast is not up anymore. Like, there's remnants of it, but all the records are gone because, long story, lost my job a long time ago, which meant not being able to fund the place where all the podcasts were stored. Should have put it on Google, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. But all in all, I got to know a lot about him. He knew a lot about me. We explored all sorts of different topics and thoughts and ideas together, and it was fantastic. I really got to know him a lot deeper than I did know him before ever doing the podcast and stuff. And so, even though I can't listen to them anymore, I have some of them, not the best ones, but I have some records of him, so I can always hear his voice. So for me, it's like having a genie in a bottle. You know what I mean? I can always pull out my father and talk to him or listen to him. I even have a few YouTube videos and clips that I recorded. And so I'm not so hurt. You know what I mean? I love him. I love him, love him, love him. Oh, that's the other thing. I spent 7 months living with him directly. And for those who don't know, which mostly is probably everyone, I didn't grow up with him, like with him in the house with me. No. My mom and him did not get along prior to me being born. So, yeah, they just couldn't do it. And so they would never live together for my sake. It would never happen. So, and that's okay. So, for that being said, he became a weekend dad. Like, he would always come out from Detroit to where I was, which was about 30 minutes away. And he would drive out there every weekend until I was 8 years old, when he decided to live somewhere else. He decided to move to Seattle. But I got to know him, and he made an effort. He made a deliberate effort, and he told me these things, that he wanted to make sure that I knew who he was. And so, all in all, I'm in a gas station, I don't care. But he made a deliberate effort to make sure that I would know who he is, so I would know who my father was. And I appreciate that more than anyone knows. You know what I mean? There's so many people that don't know who their father is, especially being a young black man. So there's a lot of things I could feel sad about, but I don't. I spent 7 months with him. I really got to know him really deep the last year, 2023. I got to know him so well that I started to see reasons why I didn't want to stay with him anymore. I wanted to, but he has a dark side to him. It's not dark like he's beating on me. No, like dark like he's just bitter. And he was depressed, and he had a lot of hardships and things like that. I'm not trying to put all this business out, but just for the sake of saying, I just couldn't take it anymore. You know, like, there's a number of things that happened, and I was just like, yeah, I gotta get the heck out of here, bro. I love you, but I can't stay with you anymore. And so, and I learned that after I left living with him, he became even more depressed. He was like, he wanted to do more with me, but he just didn't have the attitude to be able to do it, and the mindset and the peace to be able to do it. And that was a big deal for me. So we're very different, but we're also very the same, but we're also very different. He has a whole different history than I do. We're just different. But I got to know him, and I even made God was speaking to me. And really, that's what this is. It's supposed to be a diary of my walks with God. And so that's my intention. of doing this. And so in the instance of that, I would hear God speak to me while I was living with him and say, tell him you love him. And even though I'd be really pissed at something he did or something he talked about or whatever, and I didn't want to talk to him at all. And I was living in the living room on the couch, and he had his bedroom, and I'd have to pass his bedroom to get to the bathroom behind me and stuff like that. And so I would always end up going to the bathroom, and I'm like, I'm going to say it. I'll say it, Lord, just stop. Just give me a second. I'll figure it out. And on my way back from using the bathroom to crossing his room to going back to the living room is when I would just kind of like slide it and be like, I look at in his room and he's always watching TV, laying on his bed, just chilling, about to go to sleep. And I would say, love you, Dad. It's kind of like I was trying to just throw it in there, just put it in there because I was pissed. Just like, love you, Dad. What? I said I love you, Dad. Oh, love you too, son. He would always say it back. And so God had told me that in the midst of feeling turbulent with him, and always to say it like repetitively, consistently, not back to back to back to back to back, but just like every day, just mention it. It's like a few drops of water, like or a few just breadcrumbs or whatever you're just leaving every so often. And I would do it. And he would always respond back. Even if he was pissed at me, he would fight through his anger to say that he loves me back as well. And I think we both knew that this was something that was going to be important for another reason. All in all, I'm grateful that I did, because I know my Father loves me. I know my Father in heaven loves me, of course. I read the Bible every day, so I know he loves me. But I know my earthly father also loved me. And so, even though we did not get along, we both expressed our love for each other. Even though we did podcasts for, I think we started when I was 30. I turned around the time I turned 30 years old. And that whole year plus, every Thursday, we'd do a podcast. He loved doing it. My whole lineage, I love to talk. My father loves to talk. And my grandfather loves to talk. And thank God I have all of them at the same time. And got to know them very well. And my grandfather's still alive. And he's still doing well. And so, he loves to talk. And he loves his history. My dad loves his history. And now I love history. History's a beautiful thing, and something I didn't like in grade school, but I've come to learn to love it. But all in all, I'm just saying this as an introduction. This is a video diary that I intend to do once a day. And I don't want to have so much strain and stress about what I'm saying. Like, when I was doing the 1 Minute Bible Ministries, I'd have to, write it all out, and which one you're going to talk about, and when you're going to do this, and when you're going to do that. I could do that, but it just takes so much extra time, and I would love to do a great amount of work on behalf of my Father in heaven, Jesus, and doing things, but right now my life is a little bit hectic, and so I'm just going to make it a free flow. You know what I mean? It's just flow it out, just talk. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I do this with the intention of helping someone else and hoping that what I say is positive and uplifting and helpful in some kind of way. I don't know how, but that's my goal. So that's why I'll be making these daily videos, diary videos, and yeah. So I love you. I really do. I love everyone. Like Jesus says, love thy neighbor as yourself. And I love you as myself. So, you guys have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day or whatever. Yeah. All right. I'll take care. You guys take care. And I'll see you guys.